Moving away from the desert races to Central Europe. Welcome back to Imola, the birthplace of the new era of Formula 2. So this is where it all kicked off in 2005 when GP2 started as well. Imola, and what a place to come back to for the first time since 2006 for the third round of the championship. After this we go over to the end of May for Barcelona. Monaco a week later as well, on the 29th of May is going to be very exciting. Further down, Baku, round 6 of the calendar in Azerbaijan. The British Grand Prix, round 7 of course at Silverstone. The 8th round of the championship takes us to Austria and Spielberg on the 10th of July. Budapest, round 9 before the summer break, when we go to Spa, Zandvoort and Monza back-to-back for rounds 10, 11 and 12. Then round 13 of the season, the final race takes us to Abu Dhabi on the 20th of November. And it's time for Formula 2's sprint race here in Imola. Let's take a look around the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari circuit, Imola in Italy as well, a 3.050 and 19-turn circuit that's been on and off the calendar for years. It is a driver and fan favourite. Keep on the acceleration hard as you approach the start line to start the lap. Run down towards turn number 1. It's a little kink towards the left alongside the pit lane. You barely notice it before you head down for the first real braking spot, the Tamburello chicane. Down from 8th gear all the way 5th gear. Carry the speed to the apex. There's nasty sausage curves, can kick you off as well. Flat out once again through turn 3. Now into turns 4, 5 and 6 as well. The Villeneuve chicane. Rising up the hill once again, 7th gear before the braking zone, 3rd gear into Tosa. A tight inside left that clambers you up the road towards one of the fastest corners in Formula 1. Turn 8 before turn 9 at the Pirotella. Flick the car in 5th gear, carry the exit speed as well before dropping downhill. Turns 12 and 13, Acqua Minerale. Flat out between the two waters, rising uphill. Careful not to invalidate the lap time before coming into the Vanitelli Alta. Very tight, turns 14 and 15, down all the way, 3rd gear corner, carry the speed, but you can easily run off track and lose your lap time. Now, begin to drop downhill, turn 16 takes you underneath the bridge as well. You're braking at the same time as you come into Ravazza, turn 17 and turn 18, the last point of call on the track, vastly accelerating now towards the line, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear, open up the DRS, 8th gear as you cross the line to complete a lap here at Imola. It is a fast circuit and one of the best in the world. And we return for the FIA Formula 2 feature race here at Imola, the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari circuit as well, which birthed the Junior Series back in 2005. We haven't raced here, of course, since 2006. Yesterday's race, absolutely fantastic. And now, around this 19-turn, 4.909 kilometre circuit as well, we get ready for what is hopefully going to be an absolutely fantastic race. There's your pole sitter, Juri Vips, starting from pole after a fantastic, absolutely fantastic qualifying. Awasha starts second, doing third. We'll see those ever so shortly as well on the pictures, as I'm sure your timing screens update now to show you the full grid. Ayuna Zaka starting in second position, 13th in the championship. A great qualifying for him yesterday as well. Hopefully going to have something better today as well. And starting third on the grid is Jack Doohan for Virtuosi Racing, 14th in the championship as well. A wet qualifying, of course, on Friday to set the grid for the feature has changed everything around. And this is the full starting grid. Juri Vips on pole position, Ayuna Zaka starting in second position. The second row of the grid sees Jack Doohan alongside Ralph Boschung. The third row, starting 5th and 6th on the grid, is Dennis Halger alongside Roy Nazani as well. Premo alongside Dams. Should be very interesting indeed. The fourth row, Theo Borchier, is alongside Johan Jaruvela. The fifth row of the grid and rounding out the top 10, Marcus Armstrong starts 9th, Logan Sargent starts in 10th position as well. Hopefully a better race than yesterday. David Beckman on row 6 is 11th alongside Felipe Drugovic in 12th. Row 7 of the grid sees Clement Novalak start 13th, Liam Lawson is in 14th. Row 8, 15th on the grid for Enzo Fittipaldi, Frederick Vesti starts in 16th. The 9th row of the grid, 17th for Jake Hughes and Amuru Cordeal, who didn't take the race start yesterday after crashing into the wall at the exit of Ackerman Raleigh, starts 18th. The 10th row, Richard Verschoor and Callum Williams makes it a trident 10th row. And row 11 sees Ollie Caldwell for Campos 21st, and Virtuosi Racing's Marino Sato starts 22nd and last in the field. The cars about to head off then onto the feature race as well. Alongside me in the commentary box once again is Synthil. Welcome to Formula 2 racing this weekend, Synth. It's going to be a fantastic one. What are you most looking forward to today?
Well, I'm really looking forward to this race. Of course, I haven't really been able to follow the first race yesterday, but I'm definitely going to be able to follow this one. The sky is blue. There's going to be possibly no rain there for this race, but after this race it will start to rain heavily as predicted, so we'll get a dry Formula 2 race now as the formation lap will start.
We're really hoping it's going to be a great race across all series as well, and including, of course, the Formula 1 as the formation lap begins. Away they go then. It's an hour we have on the clock. Track temperature 21.8 degrees, air temperature 16.7 degrees as well. Wind speed at 2 kilometres, 50% humidity, and the track is bone dry now, unlike what we saw at the start of the Formula 3 race an hour and a half ago. As they head off now down towards the back half of the circuit, just getting everything sorted actually, because I've realised when I went to press the formation lap I wasn't there. And who's this? The stewards? Whoa, pit lane is involving car 14 as well, of Ollie Caldwell. Dangerous driving in the pit lane. He's come down the pit lane full speed while mechanics were there getting things to the grid. Now the pit lane is closed, not allowed to do that. So Ollie Caldwell will get surely maybe even a black flag for that.
That was a crazy moment. Why did he go so quickly through there?
That is no idea, and honestly, one of the most dangerous things I think I've seen in a long time in this series. What was he thinking? Absolute brain fade, or not intelligent to begin with? You don't go down a closed pit lane when there are marshals still there. Honestly, that is just bizarre. Can't put on the formation lap. Anyway, it's 35 laps ahead of us for this one as well. Rain is now 25 kilometres out. Let's hear from the top three.
Your first F2 pole. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it was a very tricky session, but in the end, we did the job when it mattered, and yeah, happy to get the reward for it as well.
It will be a long race. It will be strategic. What are your hopes?
Well, I hope I will win. I mean, if you start from pole and you don't win, you're going to be disappointed. So, yeah, that's obviously going to be the aim. But if we sort of lose the lead at some point or something happens, we can't go crazy because, yeah, I mean, as you said, it's a long race. It's 35 laps, I think. So, yeah, anything can happen.
There's your pole sitter then, Yuri Vips as well, who did quite well yesterday, but definitely wants to have a better race today, and with pole sitter coming up as well, lining up across the from the Estonian driver as well of Yuri Vips is Dam's rookie of Ari Ozaka Estelle. Starts on the front row for the first time this season as well, and Yuri Vips taking his first ever pole position for a feature race in Formula 2 in his career, and he's been around here for a couple of years now as well. Dennis Hauger starting 5th on the grid as well. Remember back to Saudi Arabia where he got denied one of the races due to the pit lane errors. Let's hope we're going to have a good one then. Yellow flag's just at the background of the screen. Don't know what that's for. I think it's for cars lining up. It's gone green now though, which is good. Well, they don't gone green. The yellow flag's been withdrawn from the back. Cars lining up then. Last on the grid will be the 22 of Sato, starting 22nd, of course. Here we go then, folks. 35 laps ahead of us, a total of 171.595 kilometres. The track is dry, rain is coming in, but it's all eyes to the lights for the Formula 2 feature race. We have 4, we have 5, we have action. It's a good start from the pole sitter Yuri Vips, but immediately from the second row, it's a great start from Ralph Boschung, who will shoot to the lead, but already into the wall. It's one of the Collins. Unbelievable,
Hauger's
and there's more damage further back as well. As who's into the lead? I can't
Roy
tell. Roy Nazani, he started 6th on the grid. He takes the lead as the top two in the race sort of run into each other as well. And what a chaotic start as they head down towards Villeneuve. 2 cars involved, one of them into the wall. I think it was one of the Primers. I think it was Dennis Hauger.
Dennis Hauger.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hauger's dropped right back. Yellow is out on the track. We can't see who it is just yet, but the yellow flags are out. The clock has started. Yuri Vips has dropped down to 4th. Here we go. So you're right. It was Jack Doohan and Dennis Hauger who's starting on the grid 3rd and 5th. They have gone out of the race, so they've dropped right down. Nazani leads. Bosch on 2nd. Awasa 3rd. Vips down to 4th. And there, that is Jack Doohan with a broken front wing. And surely the virtual safety car at least be called. He's on the ultra soft tyres.
Hauger's out as well, so that maybe. We
Full.
see a replay at the start. I thought I already saw Vips fully drifting over the line with the start, and look at the start from the campus there of
He got hit. Vips got hit. Jack Doohan hits the back of Yuri Vips. Watch. So great start. Hauger hits.
Hauger hit him.
Hauger hit Doohan, and then Doohan hit Vips at the back. And it was all caused by Boschon going to the inside low. Boschon cuts across to the middle. He distracts, and then they just sort of drove into each other. Hauger, let's listen.
Such a great day.
So Dennis Hauger's out of the race. The safety car is deployed. So Hauger, there he is though. So Hauger and Doohan sort of drove into each other, and then Vips got touched at the back by Jack Doohan.
Vips is really lucky he didn't have a puncture.
Really lucky, and that's down at Tamburello for Dennis Hauger. And he is definitely out of the race. So full safety car needed for this because they need to put the track on. So we didn't even get a corner. We got a start line before a crash happened.
That's incredible. And I actually really want to see the start on board with Roy Nissany because he just he flew into the lead.
Really want to see that. I do. That was, how on earth did he just fly down there? Let's hear for Jack Doohan.
Like, I just started thinking about to go to the right of him and someone just drills me. No, we're done. Like, my luck, honestly.
I think it's a 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. According to the angles we saw, they just drove into each other. No suspension damage though, so just a front wing gone. So he can get back in this race, but he'll have to do a fight back.
I think he does have suspension damage. It doesn't look like it now, but he definitely his tire was all the way to the left hand side as soon as the contact was made. So I think he's out of the race.
Well, Jack Doohan enters the pit lane then, as Dennis Hauger is so far one and only official retirement from this race. Josh Pacer said that Doohan's steering is off, so you're right. Jack Doohan for Virtuoso Racing is out of the race. He's pulling off now, not even in the garage at the FAA. So yeah, Doohan is out of the race for absolute sure. As they're checking the suspension, but if it's off, it's off. So the suspension's off. Safety car is out. Doohan's out of the race. Hauger's out of the race. So 3rd and 4th coming together on the grid. And Roy Nazani, though, as you say, biggest surprise, up 6 places from the start.
Incredible start.
Let's take a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's Nazani then in the blue car. He's going to dive through on the inside. He just keeps completely to the inside and leapfrogs everybody.
What a start. That's incredible.
I'm not the greatest fan of Roy Nazani, but that was absolutely fantastic. That was a brilliant start. Watch him. He's 3rd row on towards the pit wall. If you're watching along with us, pulls to the inside on the Pirelli and Rolex advertising, and just steams through and keeps the accelerator down on the outside. All carnage happening. So Bosch onto the inside. There goes Nazani, and Nazani nearly got wiped out by Hauger, actually, so that was almost a big crash at the start with everyone.
Hauger didn't actually steer anyway, so I think Vips just randomly moved to the right where Hauger was.
Yeah.
I think Vips might be... who was it? Yeah.
Vips was the one who got hit on the back, and Doohan in there as well, with...
Doohan might get a penalty for that.
Here's Nazani. This is going to be a brilliant... So, 5 cars in front... No problem at all. He passes them like they're standing still. Fantastic. And he's still flat out. When does he brake for Tamburello? He's got the move done before Tamburello. Nizani on the ultra soft tyre, a demon start, and this is doing again. Let's see Vips in front. Does Vips move across? Oh, yeah. I think Doohan got forced into Vips by Hauger, actually, so I don't think Vips moved. But Vips very lucky not to have a rear puncture there. Completely lucky.
They were almost going 4 wide.
Yeah. That's never good.
Really didn't work.
No surprise, it's under investigation by the stewards as well, so that's going to be good news.
I think that might be a racing incident, to be honest.
Yeah, they both moved into each other. I can't see a penalty being applied there at all. Roy Nizani, though, leads this race for Dams. I cannot believe it. And Awash is third as well, actually, so he's only lost a position. Boschong was another great start. So Nizani and Boschong 1-2 after fantastic starts to the F2 sprint feature race here today.
Yeah, it's never seen like a start like that just before turn 1. Absolute chaos. And Nizani, surprisingly, the one who's taking the lead.
Stewards, no further action for causing a collision between Hauger and Doohan. So you're completely spot on there, since it is a racing incident. As I thought, I agree with you on that. They went into each other.
It was all just really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, they went into each other. Nothing they could do there. And the safety car is in this lap. So we will go green at the end of the following lap for a rolling restart.
I think it especially was the top 2 starting very slow, which everyone tried to find a way through and wasn't possible, and then they hit each other.
Yeah, it wasn't possible, unfortunately. So it's the nature of this start line as well, because it's on a curve. The start line it's a straight line for the drivers, but as soon as you hit the accelerator, turn 1 is like 2 meters after the start line. So it's a curve.
Pole position isn't really a very nice place to start in this track. It's just like immediately in the corner.
Well, we saw Charles Leclerc yesterday leapfrog Verstappen on the start, and we're expecting that again today, because pole position is actually a disadvantage here, because you're on the dirty side of the grid and you don't get that great launch, and Leclerc is really going to capitalise on that later on in the Formula 1 race, if of course we have a standing start.
That's right, of course. Actually we might not get a standing start in it, but if we do, Max isn't really the best in starting in the wets, as we've seen in the past.
Yes, he's look at last time we started in the wet, Hungary. Didn't get a great getaway, and that allowed Bottas to play pinball wizard with him down towards turn 1, with Norris as a bowling ball as they come through. Safety car coming in then, and Roy Nizani will lead them away. Now, we saw the last time we tried a restart in the Formula 3, the race leaders had a spin at the exit of Ravazza. Nizani's doing it well, and he hasn't hit the accelerator immediately, actually, so he's going to take them up to the line. Exit, green flag, and he's leaving them. He's leaving them a long time, isn't he? And Boschong wants to go side by side. Nizani hits the accelerator across safety car line 1, across the green flag, and Awasha has got the greatest restart. He's alongside Boschong, down towards turn number 1 as well. Coming involved there as well, Yuri Vips on the outside, but Awasha gets denied second position as Boschong defends it like mad into Tamburello. Vips can't find a way through either. Pourchaire is battling with the back there of Jaruvula, and they're all just, I think, Pourchaire got through on Jaruvula as well. And Armstrong looking around the outside of Jaruvula.
So they're all making it through for now. Luckily, a bit of a safer restart than the start itself. They're all making it through. No yellow flags or something. Only the 2 DNFs.
Dragovic looking into the inside of Lawson, who in turn was looking on the outside of Armstrong further back as well. And Dragovic really now in the bright yellow Van Armstrong, well, the MP Motorsport as well, trying to find a way through. One ball with him now into Piratella on the back of the Carling as well for 8th position. And they're just going to have to go single file for now through the back half of this track.
Yeah, I thought the 2 Charus were also going side by side of Fittipaldi and Beckman. We're not seeing now rumbled with Dragovic, as we see, all going towards the Variante Alta now.
Looks okay to me. No one going for a move. No one going to go straight towards the wall, but later on in the race, when it's Formula 1 time and the rain comes, that is going to be a very difficult corner indeed. We're in for a classic Formula 1 race later when the rain comes down, and side by side again. That is, I think, Novalak, on the back of Beckman.
Yeah, Novalak and Beckman on in the final corner. So here we can see Bosching still right behind him. No DRS yet.
And look at
Next
the
lap.
that was Sargent on the back of Drugovic as well, trying to find a way through. And Beckman has got ahead. Novalak now has passed Beckman for 12th position as well. So David Beckman on a return to the championship down to 12th position as things currently stand as well. As it's side by side further back as well, actually, because that was Vesti trying to get through. Oh, big one! It's his upper chair! No, it's Vibs! Vibs!
Dipped in the wall.
And this will be a safety car. He bangs the top of the halo. Yuri Vibs gets on the grass at the exit of the Villeneuve chicane. And by the time they hit Toza, he's into the wall. And this will be a safety car again. Yuri Vibs is out of the feature race. The pole sitter cannot get going.
Oh, he has a weekend to forget. Unbelievable. So what happened here? On his own?
Gravel.
Yeah, on gravel, to the grass, and no grip. Round he goes into the wall.
And it's a safety car as well because he's hit. The suspension's broke as well because he hit that metal. He hit the polystyrene board, but they've got metal rods in them, and he went straight through the suspension. So it's damaged completely. Vips is completely out.
You're joking. Ah! I'm so sorry, guys.
Second,
Yeah,
yes, second safety car again. So 6 laps we get. And 2 safety cars.
Because Boucher nearly collected him.
Yeah. Boucher was looking. That's what I thought it was Boucher to begin with as well, but it was Vips who gets spun around and he is beached big time. And look how much he's actually taken out of the wall there. A big, like a cut through the advertising barrier there. And Vips, hands still on top of the halo. He knows what he's just done, and he cannot believe it. Absolute heartbreak. Let's hear from him again.
Such an idiot. Such an idiot.
And he's talking about himself there as well. Because it was his own error. Nothing he could have done about it. He went on the gravel, and it was just part of luck at this circuit. It's an old-school track. Grass and gravel line every single corner, and that's the price you pay, and that's why we love the grass and the gravel.
Yeah, this is like the 50th neutralization of the weekend or something. Because all those red flags and safety cars, it's so much chaos. Unbelievable.
I think
and
you're
not
right,
just
yeah.
F2 and F3, also Formula 1 has had some chaos.
5 red flags in qualifying.
Yeah.
3 red flags in practice. So that's 7. In F2, we had 5 red flags across qualifying and practice. The same for Formula 3. So that's, 20 already? Yeah, and then with safety cars, was it 4? Safety car yesterday, 1. Restart involving Nizani noted. So that's the race. That's because he accelerated and decelerated before the line. But the race leader controls the pace.
All right. Well, yeah. Maybe someone reported him, but I don't think that could be a penalty. I didn't see anything that bad. Maybe he was going very bit too slow, but not sure about that. We'll see a replay of that probably soon.
Keep an eye out then on what's happening. It's lap 7 of 35 here for the Grand Prix. And
mandatory pit stop as well, right?
yes, and they can't do it onto the safety car because the pits are closed. So they have to do the pit stop soon. Now, it'd be surprising though if they all dive in, because I haven't had the message from race control that the pits are open, because usually they close. The pits are open. Pits are open. They've just been opened, and now,
Oh, they're all coming in. They're all coming in.
So that message came out, and a big lockup from Nizani.
Oh, and Jerusalem stays out.
So Druvala and Armstrong. So they're on the medium compound. They must be, because everyone on the Ultrasoft comes into the pit lane. And that is Nizani, Boschong, Awasha, Portier, Sargent, Fittipaldi, Novalak, Beckman, Vesti and Cordial as well. And it's an absolute mess there. But this safety car's come at the perfect time for those who started the race on the Ultrasoft tyre.
Let's see the pit lane last time in Saudi Arabia. It was a bit too much carnage in pit lane for some reason. Front left especially.
Because entering the pit lane when the pit lane is closed was what caused Halga, as you say, in Saudi. So the pits literally got opened as they exited Ravazza, and everyone immediately got on the radio and said, that's it, pit now open. So that's great news, as away they all go. So Druvala, Armstrong, Lawson, I think would be then Drugovic, Hughes, Sato, Caldwell, Vashaw, Williams. Then it'll be Nizani, Boschong, Awasha, Portier, Sargent, Fittipaldi, Novalak, Beckman, Vesti and Cordial. That is the current order I believe it is as. with
So
19
will
rows
they
left.
be able to finish the race on this tire? Probably, right?
Yeah.
So, Nizani in 10th. He's the leader of the pitted guys.
Yep, and away he goes then. Nizani in P10, so that I think is the correct order because I'm showing Sato on my side in 10th position, so they need to get through the second sector before it all rejigs itself again. So stand by for the complete update. Let's take a look at the replay though, and this is Vips again, I believe, at the exit of Villeneuve.
So Vips in 4th place, behind the Red Bull livery, so we can see him go onto the gravel there.
Just the exit curve, wasn't it? It wasn't the gravel that cost him. It was coming back on and hitting the escape road for the trucks that got him. Because look, he hits the mud and then it immediately hits him into the spin. Yeah.
But I feel like he just kept his foot down on the grass, which he just shouldn't have done.
Really stupid manoeuvre, and he said it himself actually as well. Regs say you're not allowed to pit onto the virtual safety car, but are allowed to pit onto a safety car. TV comms just said. Thanks, Josh. So they've changed the rule, obviously, then, since Saudi. So they can pit onto the safety car. But anyway, we got the message that pit lane was open anyway, so they all came in. Well, everyone who was started on the ultra soft tyre. They still use the old format, of course, in Formula 2. It's still the C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5, but they call them the hard tyre, it's the ultra hard tyre, the hard tyre, the medium, the soft and the super soft. That's the 5 tyres we've got here. And here this weekend, it is the medium compound and the super soft compound tyre, which is which is C3 and C5 compound tyre. Which is akin to Formula 1, but Formula 2 kept the old names, so it's medium and super soft, which is nice to say super soft every now and then. Because I miss it, actually. I thought it was very simple.
I guess now we need another safety car, right?
Yeah, copy, mate. We'll try and go as long as possible. Obviously, we don't have any data on how long the options last either now, so that's also a bit tricky. But yeah, let's just try to go long and hope for safety car.
So Lawson wants another safety car so he can get a free pit stop as well because he's on the medium compound. Safety car's in this lap. Spark here says, hello, it's really dark out there. Chances of rain for F1 race later? I would say the chances of rain for the F1 race are 100%. There was a massive storm coming into Imola, which at the start of this race was 25 kilometres away. Our pit reporter Josh Blaze told us that. And that rain is coming in now. So we could have a very interesting F1 race. Well, we might not even get a 5-light procedure. Yesterday's sprint race might be the only time we get the 5 lights for F1 this weekend.
Yeah, it's basically 100% indeed that it's going to rain. It's 93 right before the start and 80 at the start. It will be a lot less later on in the race.
So it might get drier, which indicates to me we might get a standing start.
Yeah, maybe. And then they'll go on. I don't think it will be dry enough, so they might get into the inters. There he goes. Already very soon. That's very soon. As the green flag isn't even out yet, actually. Now it is. The race is back underway, and a few spots of rain there on the camera lens I just saw at Ravazza. So I wonder if it's starting to spot with rain already. The track temperature has decreased a little bit. We're restarted, though, here at Imola. It was a good restart from Jeruvala. Oh, look at that.
Side by side further back as well. Is that Nizani already trying to go through as well? Oh, is that Cold? Yeah, it was for sure and Caldwell as well. They're coming through on the inside as well. So that is 7th and 8th at the moment because Callum Williams down in P9 at the moment as well. Nizani is the in 10th position as well. So the top 9 of the race are yet to stop in this one. Everyone else has taken their mandatory pit stop in this F2. And now we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that A, that it doesn't rain, and B, we get no more safety cars and get a clean race. We have got 25 laps to run in 40 minutes, which is possible completely, but we've just taken 20 minutes to do 10 laps. So it's not exactly filling me with confidence at the moment, the amount of safety cars we've had. It might go to a time race if we have another.
Yeah, so this race hasn't had any DRS yet because we haven't got 3 laps of racing so far. Because, there's no further investigation, luckily, because it would have ruined a bit of the battle for the lead. Yeah, because he's the safety. He was the safety car effectively as well, so he gets to maintain the pace. Yeah. So that was a bit stupid anyway. Josh Plazer said that rain, which was 25 kilometres away, has missed the circuit, but a massive rainstorm is 40 kilometres away, and it's that big, it's definitely going to hit the circuit no matter which way it moves. So we are going to have rain today. That is a certainty. Okay, so it will stay dry then for this race.
Looks like it, yeah.
Alrighty.
Maybe
well,
the-
rain is not needed. Oh, look at how close Armstrong is to Deruvula. No DRS yet. I think it will be
3
enabled
laps,
next
yeah.
lap.
Yeah, next lap round we'll get it. Humidity, by the way, which was 50% at the race start, has dropped to 47, and air temperature has now dropped as well to 17.4. I think it was the same actually at the start, actually, so maybe that's remained the same. But the wind speed has increased to 1.5, and it was at 0.8 at the start of this race. So it's coming, isn't it? That rainstorm, it's just a question of
Yeah,
how
definitely.
hard it's going to hit the circuit, and you can already see the clouds starting to gather as well, but they're not rain clouds.
I'm just hoping it won't be too much rain.
Yeah, well, it is getting darker there actually as well, so Imola is unpredictable to get what's happening out there. You can still see damp parts of the track as well from the overnight rain. As the field now just beginning to calm down, DRS will be enabled next lap, so that's when we'll really get the action to start as well. As they come back through Van Antialta. As we see
Armstrong
Sato.
right inside, outside the second. Still no DRS this lap. So that means there's only one DRS detection point, of course, which is before this lap. So it will take a while since this whole lap they've got no DRS yet.
Hughes looking quite quick there as well. He's trying to have an attack. As
There is
they come
indeed
through.
some drops of rain on this camera.
Yeah, we can see it too. I was just double checking the weather forecast as well. The rain is coming quite quickly as they come through it now. Look, DRS has been enabled, but no one's using it, so I don't think they actually know they have DRS. Everyone is within a second of each other, bar Deruvula and Armstrong. But Marcus Armstrong, if he can get the strategy working, might be on for a double race win here this weekend. And there's the confirmation that we just had as well. DRS is enabled for the remainder of this lap.
Yeah, finally, first time today.
Yeah, because it was disabled, of course, for the Formula 3 race we had just before the feature here for F2. So it's nice to see we're finally up and running. Fastest sector, Deruvula, 28.704. Nice.
Yeah, he's pulling away from Armstrong. He really is having some great pace. 7.5 seconds out of Nissani. That's what it says in the bottom. Obviously, Nissani, the leader of the pitted guys, in P10 at the moment. So half the grid has already pitted, basically, and the other half hasn't yet.
Yeah, just been sent another weather forecast as well. Heavy rain is coming to the circuit in time for the F1 race as well. I just seen it 9:40. That was so 6 minutes ago. The weather forecast, and it is coming into this circuit, and you can already see the dark clouds approaching as well because it's bringing in that rain as well. It's going to hit the circuit, which is great news for the F1 race later, and it may even hit the Porsche Super Cup as well. So that race
It
is
does
going to
say
be
it will be a lot less rain in the end. So we surely will have a race today, even if it's going to be too much at the start, because if it's heavy rain, we might get some Belgium flashbacks, and let's hope that doesn't happen.
Only good thing is if we get started onto a rolling start, then have a red flag and it's dry enough to have a standing start, we'll have a standing start for the restart, which is weird. It used to be the other way around, but that's the way it goes. Cordeal has dropped down to 19th position at the moment as well. Can't see if he's just dropped behind a couple of people. Vesti and Beckman has changed up. The 19 cars you see on your monitor are the 19 cars remaining in this race as well, because Vips, Doohan and Halga all retiring throughout this race. The top three actually, so there is actually 3 of the top 4 on the grid retired. The only one still up there is going to be Aaron Azaka, who's dropped down to 16th position. So not a great start for the top 4. Nazani is running well, and that is what happened to Cordeal running wide
He lost for 2 positions.
at Tambirello through the gravel. And that's allowed Vesti and Beckman to slip up the inside and go through. As we see the race leader once again, Johan Deruvula, who was on the podium yesterday, actually. He finished second, and Armstrong won the race yesterday. And I think Liam Lawson was also on the podium. So the podium sitters for the sprint race, in reverse order, are 1, 2, 3 in the feature race today. How's that for irony as well here in Imola? As Move trying to go on there as well. That's
Right behind
Sato,
with DRS, of course, now. He's got right up the back of the Van Amersfoort Racing of Jake Hughes. Can he get past next lap?
The storm is so big it nearly reaches Monaco from Imola. Wow.
What?
Yeah, Josh Plays just said the storm is so big it nearly reaches Monaco from Imola.
Wow.
My God, are we going to have a long day here today? Anyone for Spa? I'll get some filler. We might have to get. I hope you're around during the red flag Synthol for F1 because we might need some guests to help commentate. So might drag you in. I know you'd probably be listening to Olav, won't you, on the radio?
Yeah, absolutely, Olaf. But yeah, I'm getting some friends over, so I don't think I will be able to commentate with you with the race.
Oh, fantastic! More guests. And apparently, Josh Plays just texted me thunder. So there's thunder and lightning as well, which usually means they'll stop the races because it's Italy.
Too much. Come on, stop it.
Well, Italy law is the same as American law, where you're not allowed to be in metal grandstands if it's lightning. So they have to evacuate all the spectators as well if it is lightning. So we'll keep an eye on that. We could have a very interesting race again. 3 wet races at Imola? Yes, please. As Druvala sets the fastest lap at 1:29.645. Sato. Yep, Sato's got the DRS round the outside of Hughes and takes him into Tamburello.
Yeah.
Nice move.
Yeah,
nice
move with DRS, of course, now. With Tipaldi and Novak also swapping positions in the back. It's a big train.
Now, yeah, this is all back from Sato. So Sato, Hughes, Caldwell, Verschoor, Williams, Nazani is closing up. He's 1.7 seconds away from that little battle, but are getting closer as well. And we've still got, really, everyone's out there now on the medium compound tyre, by the way. Everybody, because all the ultra softs pitted. Race control, pit lane incident involving Cordial has been noted by the stewards. Hopefully we'll see a replay as to what that is, if it needs to be investigated. Presumably maybe speeding in the pit lane, or he's left the pit box with something still attached or not attached.
Why there's so many issues in the pits this year?
Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, now here in Imola, absolutely. 3 races, 3 weekends, and all problems in the pit lane. Bahrain, I think, was one of the weirdest I've ever seen in the feature race, where literally we had cars with wheels falling off and even blocking the pit lane itself in the fast lane. So, very strange situation we've got going on. As Callum Williams and Nazani have just set personal best, as has Clement Novalak and Aru Zazaka. So they are starting to get quicker out there as their tyres begin to bed in. Sato with the fastest lap on a 1:29.465. And he is in 5th position, trying to close down Felipe Drogovic. But great race here from Sato, usually a back marker. He's having a great race here today, and he's keeping those tyres alive as long as possible into this race.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job indeed. Lawson also still within DRS of Armstrong running ahead of him. Can he make a move soon with DRS? He's still behind him as Drogovic tries to close up as well.
Keeping on the accelerator as we watch the battle with Armstrong and Lawson for second in this feature race as they head down towards Acqua Minerale as well. And apparently, I've just been texted as well from one of the journalists at the trackside as well, Scott Mitchell, who has said that the rain is so big as well that the stewards are monitoring whether or not the race can start on time or not. So they are actually now thinking of plan B, because of course the F2 race director is different to the F1 race director. The F1's race director is Niles Whittock here this weekend, and he is already starting to look at the possibility of having to maybe delay the start of the F1 race. That's how big the rainstorm is coming in as well. That's what the drivers will go out.
Enjoy rain, just a little bit. Not necessarily so much.
we don't. We've got full wet weather tyres, and they're bigger this year, which means they can clear more water. We don't need to delay the start. They can handle it as they come through. And this is who are we on board with now?
Lawson is still too far for Armstrong.
Trying to go back through as well. Abby says F2 is more competitive in F1, to be honest. One reason is because of the simple aerodynamics design of the car, which means the car behind can get less dirty air and be able to slipstream more. Yeah, Formula 1 has definitely tried to fix it this year with the ground effect and the new aero regs as well. It's working. They can follow closely, but we've yet to see it actually on a proper circuit. Bahrain arguably was our best example, but because it was race 1, everyone was still getting used to it, as Jake Hughes gets a black and white flag for track limits. So we've yet to see actually all the cars running at proper full chat to see what they can do. Bahrain,
and of course
was good.
Equal cars in Formula 2.
Yeah, equal cars in F2, really, the Dallara chassis, of course, yeah. Sent you a link to Lightning Map, an update of Rain's 950. It's now 30 kilometres away. So, literally, in 10 minutes, it's moved 10 kilometres. So, in half an hour, the rain will be at this circuit. And if Josh can correct me, it's due to stay until 8 o'clock tonight. Which means it's going to be a wet race all the day out. But I think you said as well.
Let's hope it will be a race.
Yes, let's hope it will be a race. Didn't you?
It doesn't sound very well if you hear the
I'm not. Well, if we do, at least we've got a situation where they have to complete at least 3 racing laps without a safety car. They have to complete 3 green flag laps for the race to count towards a world championship and to get a couple of those points. I'll have to dig out the new point system for F1 because it's no longer. We get to 50% distance, it's half points, 75 full points as well. It's now, question is, if we get to 25%, you get 8 points for a win and so on. If you get to 50%, it's 16 points for a win. If you get to full race distance past 75, then you get full World Championship points of 25 points. So we're going to have to dig those out for F1 later today and print those out and get them stuck up on the commentary box wall just in case they are needed. We've got an hour between F2 and the British Touring Cars. I think that's what I'll be spending my free hour doing, getting that sorted, and of course then getting everything else sorted as well up here in the comms box. MotoGP coming up, of course, today as well. We've got British Touring Cars at 11:30 British time, of course. 12:45 MotoGP, 1:15 for Formula One's pre-show. We're live at 2 o'clock on the same stream as well for the Grand Prix start, of course. Well, 5 to 2 really. Then at 4:30 you can join us for Touring Cars race 2 delayed, and then British Touring Car race 3 live is at 5:20, and the Grand Prix review across F1, F2 and F3's review, that is at 6:30 as well UK time to take us through everything that's happened. And don't forget also NASCAR is on tonight as well. You can join USRN for that as well, as Matthew and Matt and Seth will be commentating on the Talladega race as well for NASCAR as we come through. And the Grid Network, 90 minutes after the conclusion of that race, will have their wrap-up show as well. And in between the hour, if you're looking for something to do, you can check out the Grid Network's pre-race show that they put out yesterday as well. I couldn't be on it, but I'd be delighted to be on the wrap-up show later on as we come through. That's enough ads. Yeah, that's enough ads for the things coming up. Back to the race, 19 to 35, and everything has calmed down. Lawson struggling to get through on Armstrong still.
Yeah, he's just a bit too far after the final 2 corners to be able to get him with DRS on the straight. Behind there are still quite some battles, but just trains where the car behind has DRS, but the car ahead of him as well. So then you don't really have the advantage. And I think behind Pucher especially, there's a big train.
Yeah, massive train. Caldwell, Hughes, Caldwell, for sure, Williams, Nazani involved in that. And Nazani has actually finally caught that battle for 6th position as well. Sato has pulled out a great gap there, 1.3 seconds to Hughes now as well. And that gap increasing at the exit of Variante Alta. I can't say that. Valenti Alta, there we go, as they come through into Ravazza now. The last 2 corners on the track, turns 17 and 18. Just the Ravazzas, really, as well. It used to be the last corner here, used to be a chicane, but it got cancelled as well. This little kink here, that's turned 19, and then already little kink has turned 21, so technically it's 19 turns, but actually there's only 16 corners on this circuit because the start straight curves round. DRS open, but for Sato, I don't think he can get... No, that's not Sato, is it? That's kind of... that was the... Oh, no, it was... There we go, back on with us now. Camera angles are not great here, actually. We can't see the racing numbers as Cordial passes Beckman finally after he went off the track a couple of laps ago. So Beckman back down to 19th place on the board as we're on board now with the dams of Roy Nazani, who has got the net lead of this race because the top 9 have yet to come in for their mandatory pit stop. And I know what they're thinking. They're waiting for a safety car to come out to really try and challenge everything else. But so far, Synth, this is actually going perfectly well for the top 9. They've gone long into the race, and they could even stop on the last lap. But the medium tyres going incredibly well here.
Yeah, it does look like Nissany isn't able to... Yeah, he's not that much faster than the cars ahead. And he's not able to pass them. So if they're it's a safety car, and they'll be able to pit to the softer tyre, then they will be much faster for the final laps.
Doesn't really make sense, does it? Because they're all going to switch over to the Ultrasoft, the top 9. They're going to be much, much faster. Yellow! Hello, this could be what we were waiting for, Synth, which is the safety car. 15 laps to go. There is a yellow flag. Roy Nazani has come into the pit lane. That's why!
Oh!
Nazani's in the wall! And it's a heavy, heavy impact for Roy Nazani coming out of Ravazza, and he is slammed into the wall. The pit lane is closed, and I wondered if Nazani was just trying to get access to a great thing for going to come into the pit lane through a safety car, but Nazani's the reason he smashed into the pit lane.
This is a big crash, yeah. This won't be a safety car as well, because he accidentally just drove into the pit lane.
Pit lane's
What a
closed.
crash.
Very sorry, guys. Very sorry.
Very sorry, you can hear him saying.
I suppose he understeered a bit wide onto the gravel, then overcorrected into the wall.
And the pit entry is closed because they need to recover the debris from it. So the pit entry is now closed. No one's allowed in. There you see confirmation. Pit entry closed. And that they might actually have to throw the safety car because there's damage on the entry. So
There's a lot of grass.
yeah, they'll have to safety car it because they need to get those shards out the way. And it's still in the fast lane. So
Maybe first
yeah,
it's only in the pit entry.
maybe virtual safety car would cover it.
You can see a replay. Surely he's gonna just understeer a bit onto the gravel or
Bang
the
on.
power. Yeah, gravel indeed, and then into
Hits the
wall.
bump and gets launched into the air. Wow.
You said that the owner is in the pit lane. Oh well,
Virtual safety car, yeah.
didn't mean to get into the pits.
Well, it flashed up on the monitor as he's in the pit lane, and that was why
Yeah.
he smashed in. Oh, and that's Armstrong battling with Lawson, but there's the virtual safety car, which I think is the correct decision because you can't throw the full safety car because then everybody would come into the pit lane even though it's closed. So the virtual safety car, as Josh told us earlier on, you can't pit under the VSC at all. So it's a good suggestion.
They can just close the pit lane under the full safety car as well.
Yeah, and so now what they might do is throw the safety car and open the pit lane and allow everyone to change tyres from the top nine.
I don't think they will. It's only some debris right in the a bit next to the track on the pit entry, of course. So I don't think this will be a full safety car.
How much debris is there? That's the question there. Do they need to throw a safety car to brush everything up? Because is the pack too close together at all times? They're too spread out that they're going to keep coming by. Nobody can safely do work. That they have to bunch them up again. A new rule, actually, by the way, that under the virtual safety car, if the race director requires it, he can ask all the cars to bunch up together behind the virtual safety car. So it's not just that they're going to have to remain at the same gaps. If the race director requires it, he can ask all drivers to bunch up behind the VSC and then go back to green flag running. That's a new rule that came through. So what happens?
I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I think they just can leave the virtual safety car.
Josh Plays says, what happened? I was downstairs. Roy Nazani got on the gravel at the exit of Ravazza and smashed into the pit wall and got dragged down the pit lane. In fact, here it is. Talk us through it again, Synth.
Yeah, so he's getting a bit of a twitch on the curb, then he's on the gravel. He can't go to the left anymore, right into the wall, and accidentally goes into the pit lane as well, which is the reason we don't have a safety car now, but a virtual because of the debris.
Yeah, so the car doesn't have to be recovered because it's already in the pit lane. The virtual's just out to clear the pit lane up a bit, and then if we get pit entry as open before the virtual safety car comes in, Josh Plays, was he leading? Well, he had the net lead of the race, didn't he? He was running in P10, but he had the net lead because he was the lead car who had come in the pit lane. Black and white flag for Cordeal for track limits as well, which is interesting. But this is really damaging now, actually, the top nine who haven't come into the pit lane. Because Theo Portier is going to inherit the lead of the race and might become our first repeat winner in 5 of the 6 races we've had so far this season.
Still quite a way to go. I'm not sure if he will damage them that much. So Portier is now the leader of the cars who have pitted.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Bosch on second.
But those newer softer tires they will help them so much. We've seen it before. Those alternative strategies will be so much faster. That can be so much faster. And then we might see some an interesting finish to this race with a lot of overtaking from the cars who've pitted.
This is going to be absolutely spectacular racing coming up as well. So we've got 20 minutes to go with 12 laps to go. So we just might get through it as well, unless they need the virtual safety car will cover this one as well, coming onto it as well. And Josh Plays has sent me the lightning map, and we're at Imola, and the lightning is within that 30 kilometres. It's just crossing over from Pistola as well. So it is going to hit the circuit quite quickly as well. Do you have Discord, mate? Yes, we do. The Josh Plays, your standby. Put the link in the Discord, please. We have a Discord with race control messages for F1, F2, F3, MotoGP, Formula E, and British Touring Cars. Josh Plays does all of that for us as well. They haven't cleared up the gravel, though, since. That's interesting.
Nope, the grass is still there. I think they might just leave it there.
Yeah, so the oil flag's going to be out for the slippery surface flag's going to be out for the remainder.
Yeah.
No sign of the virtual safety car coming in just yet. But yeah, we're going to have the link sent in. It's if you look at the bottom in the description, there is a link tree, and the link for the Discord is in there. But I think Josh Plays is about to post the link for the Discord in the chat as well. Could you stream the race? Sadly, we can't. This is the best we can do because of copyright issues. We can't stream the race. It's a watch-along, which means we do our best with radio commentary and tell you all the pictures that are happening as well and keep you up to date with tweet decks and all that lot. But I really would love a driver tracker for F2 and F3. Absolutely would love a driver tracker.
So
which we have in
with the
F1.
weather now, does it say it will rain for the Porsche Super Cup already?
I think it is going to rain for the Porsche Super Cup.
Now we get a bit of a view of how bad the weather actually will be.
If it goes from Imola to Monaco, bad.
Yeah,
That's
with
a long.
thunder, that's
Yeah.
not good news. So let's hope they will be able to start the race at least today.
And
But
yeah.
it sounds like they won't start at the time they should.
Yeah, they might be delayed if what Niles Whittick is saying as well. I'll keep an eye on Super Cup and report. Thank you, Josh. How? Because you're going to be on touring car commentary. There's the clouds, look, Synth, and wet
Yes.
tyres being prepared just in case. They're getting ready. So what's their weather radar saying? If that rain's going to come down.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't. Oh, ending.
Yeah, here we go.
Finally, go green again.
Finally, so virtual safety car is ending, and we're going to head back to green flag conditions. 3, 2, 1. Green flag. We're back racing, and who's going to get the best restart? It's not going to be Jordan Driliver. He's lost 2 seconds. Drew lost 2 seconds on that restart. Now we cut to the battle for second. Verschoor's past Caldwell, but Armstrong, Lawson and Dragovic as well battling together. But Druvela lost 2 seconds on that restart. He must have been in a corner when the green flag came out.
So green flag now. There's no. Doesn't take 2 laps for the arrest is immediately enabled again. As always after the first safety car. Lawson, can he stick behind him? He's not too far away from Armstrong, and Dragovic right behind him as well.
So the race is still battling on here as well as we're back to green flag running. 6/10 Lawson has to Armstrong. Dragovic, Druvela. No, I was right. Dragovic in fourth position as things currently stand. I'm just getting the link in for you, Abby. And link is in. There you go. I've posted it there. There's the Discord link going in there as well as the race is back underway. And this is, again, very close between Dragovic, Lawson and Armstrong. They've kept that gap under the VSC. And once again, we're going to have a close grandstand finish. Armstrong was loose. Look at that, coming out of Ravazza. Armstrong was so loose, nearly into the gravel. And that's going to allow a big gap. Lawson pits. Lawson pits, as does Hughes, as does Verschoor. They're all coming into the pit lane. So they are going early to the ultra soft tyre. Or super soft tyre, I should say. That's interesting.
Very interesting. So they're going to have a while
Cordial.
to deal with the track limits.
Yeah,
So
5
they're going to
seconds.
have a while to... so 10 laps for the new tires to close the gap, close everything. But look at where they are.
Nowhere. They're
16th,
right at the back.
all the way in the back.
They are right at the back of the field now. That's a big ask. If they're going to make it up, they need a safety car to help
They really
them.
do need a safety car, yeah.
Enzo Fittipaldi has passed Clement Novalak for 10th position as well. We haven't seen it on the TV pictures because we've been watching this. But Lawson, Hughes and Verschoor exit the pit lane in 16th, 17th and 18th in this field.
Okay, so here we see one of the ARTs put chair behind Williams. Still some battles. They haven't really seen many overtakes so far.
Yeah, it's
They're
been a
all
quiet
just
one, hasn't
sticking
it?
behind each other. They all have DRS, but not making the moves.
Pourchaire's got to start making moves, though. I know his plan is to not use up his tyres and let everybody come into the pits, but it's not going to work. Druvela. And he's coming to the pit lane, so the race leader's in, and Marcus Armstrong takes the lead of the feature race. He won the sprint yesterday. But here we go, waiting for confirmation, but I believe car 25 has a 5-second penalty for track limits. You're right, Josh, he does. That came up on the monitor. And Williams pits as well. So Pourchaire moves up to 5th position. So now the pit stop battles are on, and Armstrong leads by a second to Drogovic. Jaruvula will drop right back down the order. I don't think this has worked. I think they've gone too long. That virtual safety car cost them big time.
I guess they were waiting on a safety car, but it just didn't, they just didn't came. So now they have to close the gap, the big gap they have to the cars in front.
So the battle is on then here for Formula 2's feature at Imola. 4 cars yet to pit. That is Armstrong, Armstrong, Drogovic, Sato and Caldwell. And Ollie Caldwell, who, by the way, he started at the back of the grid, up into 4th place. Same for Sato. Has just been an amazing run. Armstrong and Drogovic, of course, didn't have great qualifyings either, but they've been right up there.
Yeah, they still have to pit though.
Yeah.
And, this is such a big gap. Obviously, now it's still cold tires because
Armstrong
they just
pits.
pitted.
And Drogovic doesn't, so there's Armstrong, and he's got the radio call to come in, and there he goes. And, Drogovic stays out to take the lead of the feature. Now, with a couple of laps to go, that may be close. Sato might do a miracle here if he can keep those tyres going and pit on the last lap, because it's just him and Drogovic now, and they've got 7 seconds or so to Caldwell, so it could work out, as in they come now. Just a question as well, something I saw. If you think about it, who started in the top 6? Because 4 of the top 6 have retired. There's a problem with the rear. There's a problem. Something's gone wrong. The rear jack's not working. And it wasn't on. The wheel was not on. So that is Armstrong's chance of a race win done, as it's a 10-second penalty now for Cordial for, again, exceeding the track limits. So Cordial with an even bigger penalty. That's 15 seconds added onto his race time. Armstrong's day is done. He gets out just ahead of Liam Lawson, I think. But Lawson's going to have much more speed coming into Tamburello. And so Armstrong with a loose rear right doesn't get out on the track as quickly as we were predicting.
Again, issues in the pits.
And it's a drive-through penalty now for Cordial for track limits. So he's had every single thing. He has just been exceeding track limits massively. So he's had a 5-second, a 10-second, now a drive-through. And if he's kept doing it, he might be black flagged, Because one more penalty, it's a black flag from the race. So we could see our first disqualification.
Cold tires for Armstrong.
I was going to say, because he's too slow. Hughes going through him now. Up towards Piratella. And Hughes goes through. Armstrong drops back down.
No tire warmers, of course, so the outlap you'll be a lot slower.
So Ollie Caldwell hasn't stopped either. So it is still Theo Pourchaire, who's 12 seconds back from Drogovic, who 9 seconds now, who could take victory here and become our first repeat winner in Formula 2 this season. And first repeat winner in the Junior Series, because we haven't had a same winner in Formula 3 either, actually. Thinking about it. Race control, DRS enabled, which is interesting.
Oh,
why was it disabled? Well, with a virtual safety car, usually it doesn't get disabled.
I didn't notice that it was disabled.
I didn't know either.
Listen, we have to stay out and just wait for safety car in case, because if not, there's no way.
Yeah.
So the top 3 are running it to the safety car.
Yeah, I think it's their only chance.
That is so cruel. You can't pit either to change over.
Yeah, because look at Ruvela is 17 seconds behind Beckman, and then he's got the whole grid ahead of him to overtake, and only a little over 5 laps to go. So there's no way he's gonna be able to get back to where he was ahead in the lead. Started from P8, of course, this race.
They've gone through. We've completed 29 laps. We're now on lap 30, and they've kept going through. Top 3 again, running across the board, and Pourchaire is starting to close that gap as well. This is going to be a really tight call for this Formula 2 feature, as look at this already. That is having to defend really hard, actually, is Ralph Boschung, who's pulls the outside. And oh, look at Sargent just bringing it back a little bit as well. I thought that's going to be a little bit on the nose if Sargent could get through, but Boschung was defending hard, and these two pitted early on in the race. So this is 4th position overall as Cordeal serves his drive-through penalty.
Finally, a bit of a battle with Sargent and Boschung. Closing up to them is the Cherouz as well of Enzo Fittipaldi.
Druvela, fastest lap on a 1:28.726. Now Richard Verschoor, 1:28.654, takes the fastest lap. So Verschoor going even faster out there now as well, as Sargent is really challenging now Ralph Boschung, whose tyres look to be deader than a dodo, as here comes also Enzo Fittipaldi in the Cherouz Racing as Hughes passes Cordeal, comes out of the pit lane, of course, after his drive-through. So Cordeal's day's done. Lock up ahead for Sargent, and Fittipaldi just waiting to go up the order. Can't see
Alrighty then. 30 of 35, and the top is still outside, still waiting for the safety car, hoping for a safety car. But we're going into the final laps of this race.
Armstrong's past
And hope
Cordeal
for a
now.
miracle.
Well, if the safety car does come out as well, it'll end under the safety car because it'll be too close to close it now. So they've got to take care. These two might cause one though, as Sargent looking to the inside, down in towards Tamburello as well, and Boschung not wanting to give an inch, but Sargent's muscled his way through. And he's got up into 5th position. Boschung down to 6th. And now here comes Enzo Fittipaldi towards the Villeneuve chicane. He thinks about it, but realistically, he'll have to go for a move at Tosa. If he gets a good run here, that's good. Now it's Tosa. No, nothing. Although
he's going to wait for the next lap on the straight.
Look at the tyres.
These are not too slow corners. I think, Rivazza, the penultimate corner, and Alta, Variante Alta. Those are the only other 2 places, I think, where you can actually overtake, except for the straight, of course.
What a fantastic Formula 2 race we've having. It hasn't been that exciting in terms of on-track battles, but trying to keep across of everything has been difficult, and trying to keep an eye on the weather forecast has been difficult as well. But Formula 2's return to Imola certainly is great. And who's gone wide? He's gone wide. Here we go. Side by side now as well. Sargent's made the mistake, and Boschung is side by side. Fittipaldi's going to go through. Fittipaldi takes Boschung. Takes Sargent. Boschung 5th. Fittipaldi 6th. Sargent down to 7th after he went wide of Variante Alta. And we've got a yellow flag. So who's gone off to cause that safety car?
Look at that train, by the way.
Caldwell's in the pits. Caldwell said that's it. He might get unlucky though as we head down. Sectors 2 and 3 yellow. So who's gone in the wall?
What's happened there? Oh.
And round the outside. That's a great move from Enzo Fittipaldi to take 4th. That might be 2nd as it's side by side. Sargent's involved and Dragovic goes through. Novalak goes through. And Wass is in there as well. Yellow sectors 2 and 3 still. Can't see why. Here comes Sargent now. He's in a battle with Beckman. And Vesti goes through. Say again?
Liam Lawson has gone off.
Oh, it's Liam Lawson. And he's 18th and out of the race, and the virtual safety car has been deployed, not the full safety car, which doesn't help Dragovic and it doesn't help Sato, because we can't pit onto virtual.
As we've seen before, the virtual often turns into a full safety car. Let's hope for this. What's happened to Liam Lawson? Sector 2 and 3, so he might be like right at the crossover point of those 2 sectors. Not sure around where that is.
Well, I'm looking at the track map. It's Variante Alta.
Variante Alta. Okay, so I see hit the wall at the edge of the chicane.
Exit Variante Alta. So he's got the... That's exit of Aqua Minerale. That's even way before he's got there. So he's lost it in the exit at Acqua Minerale and slammed into the wall. And safety car!
Yeah.
That's crucial! Safety car! And, Djokovic has missed the pit lane! Santo's missed the pit lane! Oh,
But the safety car isn't out yet, so he still has it. Or is it?
Yes, it
There
is!
a
Safety car!
Oh,
There's a safety car! And, the stewards have done it again! They've manipulated the race results! Santo and Djokovic don't get to pit! The race goes to Portier! Because what?
Okay, Neil? Yep.
I don't understand why they just don't immediately just deploy the safety car.
The stewards are going to be called up for fixing this one again. Why was it a virtual? We've got a car that clearly can't be moved. It should have been a full safety car, not the virtual. Talk us through it since how it happened. Big
well,
one.
We can only see the end of it, but I'm sure he's just maybe too much curb and too early in the power and just went to the right. I've done it myself a few times on the game as well. It's quite easy to do. Here we see the move from Fittipaldi.
He'll take
And
seconds.
the restarts, an overlock there as well with Logan Sargent locking up, nearly pushing Sargent into the gravel there.
So on lap 33,
But, yeah.
plus 1 lap. Stop go penalty. Emil Cordial
Oh my god.
He's got
Now it's a
every
10 second
penalty.
stop and go.
speeding in the pit lane during his
Oh.
drive-through.
Why? What's he doing?
Well, Cordial is having the worst day of his life at the moment. He's got it.
He should just retire or
Yeah.
something. Because
Look at that. Even the MP don't know what to do. This might be the last race weekend for Cordial. Crashed in the race yesterday
So
before
what,
the start.
Djokovic is going to pit now. Sato as well. Has Pucher pitted?
Portier has pitted, so Portier is going to take the victory because they're all bunched up behind the safety car, which got called as Djokovic and Sato came across the start line.
And
You
Djokovic
can't
and
tell
Sato
me,
have
yeah.
to pit now.
You can't tell me that wasn't planned. That's the stewards manipulating the race results again for to let Portier win. Because Djokovic and Sato were waiting for the safety car. It came, but the virtual was deployed for all of 41 seconds before the safety car got deployed just as they crossed the line. Stewards, pit lane is involving Armstrong. We investigated after the race. But now, Djokovic and Sato
I'm not
comes
sure.
to the pits.
I mean, it looks very unlucky, but why is
So Portier
staying out?
leads. Yeah, Portier. So into the pits comes Djokovic and Sato.
Yes. But yeah, they've done it all weekend. Deploy the first safety car first,
Yeah.
and then like a minute later the safety car. So it's not just for this situation, but
It's
just
the wrong
very
call,
very
yeah.
inconvenient for the leaders. Pucher is going to win this race if he doesn't make any mistakes. And Fittipaldi
I think
start from
yeah,
15th.
finished second. Yeah, I think after Abu Dhabi last year, when we know that the stewards can manipulate the rules, you've got to question every peculiar decision. You have to now. You've opened the Pandora's box, and that was a very peculiar decision to deploy
Yeah, but-
the safety car just as the leader, who hasn't stopped yet, crosses the line.
I also don't think it was Masi wasn't really the problem, is it? Because we now
was the
see
rules,
some
yeah,
very
yeah.
weird things as well.
Yeah, it was
Not
the,
only
it's
now,
the rules.
but last races as well.
Yeah, it is the rules that need tightening up, especially in Formula 2, because this is, the second time this season we've had a rightful winner stripped due to the stewards error. Oh, Sato! It's the wheel not going on. The nut didn't lock. It was spinning around, so Sato
More unlucky.
drops down the order, and Theo Portier is going to take a second win of the
Will
season.
we restart? No, we won't. Right.
Race will finish behind the safety car, and with only 1:17 left on the clock, the 60-minute plus 1 lap rule comes into effect as to where the next lap will be the last lap, and that is lap 35. So the race will finish behind the safety car here.
Nearly removed
yeah.
it. Let's go one more lap. No,
I think it's too late. Although we could see it come in if they wanted to. But are we going to have that situation where it's the time is going to run out and then we have to have the last lap? If the time runs out before they cross the line, it'll be 2 laps to go.
You have to
'Cause it's,
put it now.
yeah.
Otherwise, it won't happen. He's driving slow, isn't he?
And the green lights are on. Past the safety car. Green light. So Portier's passing the safety
Yeah.
car. What's happening here?
Cordial. No, Cordial's passing.
Oh,
the
it's
safety
Cordial.
car,
Sorry, yeah,
back marker.
sorry.
And will we go in this lap?
Lapped cars
We-
may now overtake.
I don't think so.
And
It
that
will be very,
means-
very late call.
Yeah, lapped cars may now overtake, which
Nope.
means it's the following lap the safety car will come in. The race will end behind the safety car, we're being told, because the safety car is going to come in at the end of lap 35. So the lapped cars have got out of the way. Remember that rule that Mazzy broke with the cars? Now we're going to have it. Safety car is out. The race is ending. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and the timer has run out. Let's take a look at the race then. Lap 1 at the start. Great start, though, but it was hampered for Jack Doohan, who made contact with Dennis Halger and then hit the back of Vips. Vips was lucky not to get taken out then. Halger just sort of got drifted into him. Great start by Boschon. Brilliant start by Roy Nazani from 6th to 1st, but a clumsy start. Here's Nazani's getaway, though. Synth, moment of the race?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. So much happened. Well, Nissani's race is just was going from it's just an emotional roller coaster, to be honest.
Yeah.
He had such an amazing start, but very unfortunate for him. He managed to crash out. This was also Yuri Vips started from P1 and crashing out. Really unfortunate moment for him as well.
The regs apparently say if you pit onto a virtual safety car, it does not count as your mandatory pit stop, so they can't stop. Yeah. Here's Nazani crashing out, though, over the bump at the pit entry. That's what caused the virtual safety car before, which should have been a full, which got away with not being a full safety car as they come through. And the most recent cause for the safety car was Liam Lawson, of course. We're into Acqua Minerale. The checkered flag is out already. The session is over because we've run out of time. This is the +1 lap that is to end the race, which just so happens to be the last lap. Safety car is coming in, but no overtaking.
Okay, mate, we're starting the last lap, so we'll finish under the safety car. Okay, listen to me, mate. We will figure this out and we will get there, okay? Just stay cool for now, please.
So Logan Sargent's really angry. He's in P7 and the race is ending behind the safety car. So the safety car will come into the pit lane so it doesn't spoil the nice photos for the media with a big green Aston Martin in front. But the safety car will end the race. Theo Portier then won the feature race in Saudi Arabia. He's now going to take the feature race here in Imola. Back-to-back features. Theo Portier wins across the line, but he's speeding under the safety car. It's not a green flag. Don't know why he's done that. It was safety car conditions. You had to maintain your delta. But Theo Portier wins. Enzo Fittipaldi from the back of the grid to for 15th on the grid to 2nd. Ralph Boschong takes 3rd. Novalak 4th. Awasa 5th. Vesti is 6th. Sargent takes 7th. Beckman 8th. Druvala 9th. Dragovic completes the points in 10th as well. But it's Theo Portier. 2 feature races, back-to-back victories. Maximum points from them from Jeddah all the way here. Well, I should say from Shakir, I should say. But either way, Portier's 2nd win of the year and the 2nd sprint win of the year. 2nd feature win of the year. Synth will help me before I say something else wrong. Let's hear it from the race winner.
Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow, what a race!
I think he's happy.
That's something.
Viva Italia!
Theo Portier, the Frenchman, very animatic there, isn't he? As he comes through. That was a good race. Oh, and this
Really
is
good race, yeah.
Enzo Fittipaldi, 2nd place after that fantastic run. Now, great to see Enzo back up, especially what happened in Jeddah. And now he's back on the podium, waves to the Tifosi for the Chanute Racing as well. Nice to see as well. He was in hospital for so long after his crash in the feature race in Jeddah last season as well. Came back and this is his first podium since then, and it was a masterclass. 15th, and he was running through the field so much as well. Great race. Thumbs up in the comms box as well. The safety car's actually still deployed, effectively, because it ended up there. But the Frenchman leads Enzo Fittipaldi and Ralph Boschong across the line. It's 2 and 3 as well.
What a race, bro! I can't believe it,
One of the days where he has been.
Holy
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
And here, Alex Brundle, they're trying to interrupt there. Don't think he could hear the radio.
Yeah, he's going to be surprised with it. Starts 15th.
Yeah, and look at Ralph Boschek in third place for Campos. What a race for them. And he had to hold off from Novalak as well, and some fantastic runs as well from the Primers. Let's hear from the top three.
Yeah, easy guys, easy. Remember this, most of the time it's always under control. Maybe it's not the quickest, but it's under control.
Not the quickest, but under control. That's a nice run. We'll hear from the race winner as we'll begin our podium ceremonies now. Track temperature is at 23 degrees, but the air temperature has now dropped to 14.8 degrees. So it's dropped about 4 or 5 degrees since the start of the feature. That rainstorm is coming. Right, that's Formula 3 and Formula 2 done. Next up, British Touring Cars, 11:30. Join us about join us about an hour. 1 hour, 61 minutes to be precise, until the start of the British Touring Car race for Donington Park, the season opener. Then you can join us for MotoGP, 12:45. We're on air with lights out at 1. 1:15 for Formula 1 as well. Do join us for that one. It's going to be a classic if the rain comes down. Touring car delayed, 4:30 for race 2. British Touring Cars. Race 3 is live at 5:20, and the Grand Prix review, which takes us through Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3, their weekend, is at 6:30 as well as they come through. Josh has said 10 kilometres is the start of the storm. Main part of the storm is around 20 to 25 kilometres away. So it looks like it's going to hit for the Porsche Super Cup and then stay around for the F1. Theo Bouchier, modest as ever, race winner up here on the board. And he's going to celebrate with the ART guys as well. Is this Bouchier's year as an F2 champion?
Oh, it's early to say.
Our first repeat winner,
in the
though.
lead now for the championship.
Yep, takes lead and is our repeat winner for the first time. So 50 points from 2 feature victories. And hugs all the way around as well. Safety cars finally
they all
coming, by
look
the way.
quick.
Yeah.
I think Vips, he's fast as well, but he is ruining it again on his own, which is really unfortunate for him. Twice, I think. Yesterday didn't have a good race either, did he?
No, Vips had a terrible race yesterday as well, so it's a bad weekend all over.
Yeah.
And he was the pole sitter for today, so he's really going to feel like he has left it. He's left a lot lacking here as well. Thanks for the stream. Join us for the race later.
Taking the souvenir with him.
Yeah, take that. I'll have that, please. Take it onto the podium. Oh no, he's going to put it down. I thought he might, to be fair. But just got to make sure you get your helmet and your gloves. You need to be weighed before the podium, before you get all the heavy champagne all over you. Right, Laura Winter. She's standing by to talk to the top 3. I don't know if they're in reverse order or not, but that's done. So let's throw it down to Laura Winter to interview the top 3 from this race. Oh, hang on. Amy Barkley instead will interview the top 3.
Theo Porsche, a huge congratulations, and to win on such a historic track. What are your initial sensations right now?
I'm just so happy right now. P1 in Imola, such a legendary track. I'm so happy about the race, and we were in a difficult moment after Jeddah and after the beginning of the weekend. I was learning the track Friday. I had only 3 or 4 push laps to learn the track in practice, and then I did P7 in quali in the rain. And today we won the feature race. We just proved, I think, that we will be here this year.
Talk to us then about the rest of your season. How does this impact? How does this give you a push looking into this F2 season?
I will be here all year. You can count on me. I will never give up. The team is with me. My family is with me. My team, my close team is with me. And I will push till the end.
Brilliant to see you win and to see F2 on this Imola track. Many congratulations, Theo Porsche.
And is that all we're going to hear from? Yes, it is. The top 3 have disappeared. So we're going to hear from Theo Porsche because we are running a little bit behind schedule because Porsche Super Cups are coming soon as well. And we've got to get ready. As look, the Aston Martin safety car is getting refueled. That's something I've never seen before. Here's the race results then from this one. Theo Pourchaire takes victory in the feature. Enzo Fittipaldi is second and Ralph Boschung finishes in third position. Clement Novalak is fourth. Ion Izaka finishes in fifth. Frederick Vesti is sixth. Logan Sargent seventh. David Beckman is eighth. Johan Jeruvala ninth. And Felipe Drugovic rounds out the top 10. Further down on the page as well, 11th place, Marino Sato. What could have been for Drugovic and Sato here today. Hughes is 12th, Armstrong 13th, Caldwell is 14th, Richard Forshaw 15th, Callum Williams is 16th, Emil Cordial with one of the worst races I've ever seen is in 17th. Lawson out, Roy Nazani out, and Yuri Vips out as well. Count that also with Jack Doohan and Dennis Halger, who retired at the very start of the race. But for Cordial, I think his contract might be up after crashing on the way to the grid yesterday and then having so many penalties today, he might have had it black flagged. The driver's room has returned this weekend in Imola. Should we have a listen? Let's listen.
Yeah, hanging out in a little bit of branded space, something racing drivers do quite a lot of, but they are getting their bottles of water, they're getting their towels, they're chilling out and ready to go to what is a very evocative podium here, which is set across from a grandstand full of fans, and they deserve absolutely every single bit of the accolades. Tough out there, looks like a physical race too, with these big rimmed Formula 2 cars generating big steering force for the drivers. Another physically tough event. It'll be a good preparation, although it's in 4 weeks for Barcelona. But
I thought the point of a driver's room, Sins, was that we could hear what the drivers are saying, not Alex Brendel talking to us on it as well. Anyway, on to the podium. Has that F1 thing been added since this morning? I don't remember seeing that this morning, the F1 logo. Yeah, I don't think I saw it all weekend, so that's news to me. On to the podium then. For this one, the F2, the Italy Emilia-Romagna round of the championship as we come through. Oh no, refuelling in the pit lane is banned. Oh, I'll check. That's in the safety car. Refuelling in the pit lane is actually banned. Ralph Boschung finishes third in the race here today for the feature. Second place for Enzo Fittipaldi. And he handshakes everybody on the podium as well. He's happy to be there. We're happy to see him. And now, the second win of the year, the first repeat winner, is Theo Pourchaire. And in his honour, we will hear the French national anthem on the top of the deck. And, Synthol, are we going to see this man a lot in the future this season? He seems to be quite strong. I know we said that Vips could be fast as well, but Pourchaire, he's beginning to run away with it just a little bit too much now. 2 victories, the first one to do it, and he looks so good in the feature race with the mandatory pit stop strategy.
Absolutely, he's really quick. However, it's a long championship, and you can be unlucky sometimes. In Formula 2, that seems even more possible to just get hit by someone who wasn't really focusing well. But yeah, that can also happen to other drivers. It's Pourchaire who looks strong now.
We are 3 hours and 30 minutes away from the start of the Formula 1 race, but that rain is coming. It's getting darker at Imola as well. It looks sunny on the podium, but if you look to the distance, the black clouds are rolling in. But it's all sunshine and roses for Theo Pourchaire. Big celebrations on the podium as well. He'll get the P1 trophy here in Imola for the Italy Emilia-Romagna Championship. Up goes the trophy now! And Josh says that it was there yesterday, the F1 logo. Thanks for that, Josh. I just didn't spot it, obviously. I must need new glasses. I'll re-go to Specsavers. ART take their second trophy of the year. Enzo Fittipaldi takes his first trophy of the season and back on the podium after that horrific injury in Jeddah last year. His brother Pietro Fittipaldi, proud as anything can be, taking a photo of his younger brother, and Ralph Boschung in third. And now, as ever, It's champagne time! What is going to happen next time? Here's the championship. Theo Poitier now leads by 2 points to Felipe Dragovic. 52 points for Poitier. Dragovic on 50. They're walking away with it. Druvela has 36. Lawson 35. Verschoor 32, the same as Boschong. 30 for Armstrong and Vips. Awasa on 20, Fittipaldi 18, the same as Sargent, 14 for Halgren Hughes, 13 Nazani, 12 Novalak, 8 Vesti, 6 Doohan, 5 Williams, 4 Beckman and 1 for Sato. Caldwell, Bull Bassi and Cordial, no points on the board for Bollock Bassi. We hope he returns ASAP. Cynthia, what a race it's been. What a weekend as well. Are you looking forward to the next race? Because we too have to wait now until Barcelona in a month's time as F1 heads to Miami.
Yeah, a bit too long again. It was also a month ago when the last Formula 2 race was, wasn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, I can't wait. You know, the Formula 3 especially, that was such great races were those two.
Absolutely fantastic. And of course, it's back-to-back. Barcelona, then a week later, we go to Monaco for Formula 2. It's non-stop action coming up as well as they leave the podium. We'll see you in a month's time, when we head to Barcelona for when Formula 2 returns. But we've got a whole action here today. Next up, it's the opening round of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. Cynthia, my thanks to you this weekend. We'll see you next time. And for Formula 2, it's a month's break before we head back. From us all here, thanks for your company. Bye for now.